And it's going to be a shorter kick that's going to land at the John Marshall 24-yard line. It's going to be picked up. And it's going to be picked up and returned to about the John Marshall 35, 36-yard line by number 13, I believe. That was going to be Mikael Jackson.
It's the first action we get from Mikael Jackson. He had a decent game last year when they played the Chargers, so we'll look for him to make some more impact.
As we see the John Marshall offense getting to work out there, it's going to be 1st and 10 from the John Marshall 36-yard line. They'll need to get to the 46 as they're going to be in the shotgun. Twin receiver set to the left. They're going to have a QB run to the left. He's going to take it and gain about, we'll call that 4 yards. Good play.
It's a good pickup by Terrence Caldwell. See, he's getting the start opposed to Davian Taylor tonight. Had a tough game last week, but hey, 9 for 12, 94 yards. Good progression. I mean, 2 interceptions. I didn't get to see those plays, but regardless of that, we got to tighten that up today if we want to beat these Chargers on their home field.
I agree 100%. John Marshall, they break the huddle. They're going to be, looks like they're going to be, I can't tell if that's the pistol or the shotgun from our vantage point. Despite that, they're going to snap the ball. It's going to be a handoff to number 5, and he's going to gain about 1 yard, if that. That was Shaz Guilford on the carry.
And Shaz Guilford, that's the guy that we're going to see impact the game on both sides of the ball. We might see quite a bit of ball carriers for the John Marshall Bears, but keep out for his impact on this game as well.
It's going to be 3rd and 4 with 8:47 left in the first quarter. 7-0 Heritage Hall over the John Marshall Bears early on in this game. John Marshall, they're going to be in a Twins receiver set to the left with 2 H-backs to the right. Quarterback, he's going to run the option. He's going to gain about 1 yard. It looks like they tried to run the option there, and the play kind of got blown up, and the quarterback just had to run.
I mean, first 3rd down of the night, we see a different formation there. Just trying to confuse that Heritage Hall side, but we don't get the best execution. We get positive yardage, though, so looks like we got a good game ahead of us, man.
I agree. It's going to be 4th and 4. Heritage Hall is going to get in their punt return unit as they're going to wait the punt from John Marshall. Beautiful night tonight. Maybe this wind will be a little bit of an advantage or a hazard. We'll see. As they send number 13 in on a motion, Mikael Jackson, or nope, it's not a motion. They were motioning him off the field. Too many men on the field. Low snap. Decent punt.
Good punt.
Line drive punt to number 2, Ori Walker. And he's going to get met by a host of Bears.
Mauled by a swarm of Bears. Good job by that John Marshall special teams unit.
And it's 7:37 left in the first quarter. Heritage Hall will have the ball. So what do you want to see from Heritage Hall here, or the John Marshall Bear defense?
Hey, man, we came here to see some playmakers, right?
We did.
I want to see River Faulkner, man. This is the guy we came to see. Over 1,140 all-purpose yards at running back, 21 touchdowns. I want to see him go to work, man.
I agree 100%. They snap the ball. Base is going to keep that one himself, call his own number, gain about 4 or 5 yards.
He likes what he sees, and I like to see the confidence in him.
You know, quarterbacks got to have some confidence that errs on the side of egomaniacal, in my opinion.
Hey, but this is a guy, he's a junior, so he sat on the bench. He's learned a little bit, so he's definitely ready to go and shine under these Friday night lights.
As they're going to have 3 receivers set to the right in the pistol formation, Basses. It's going to be a play-action fake. He's going to fire it to Ori Walker. Ori Walker's going to have the first down. He's in the John Marshall territory. It's going to be a 1st and 10 into John Marshall territory at their 45.
This Heritage Hall offense is really spreading out this field out here tonight.
Oh, Ori Walker, man, he's had a couple of plays so far tonight. And a really good pass by Bass. Or Bass, excuse me. As Bass, empty set. He's going to have singles receivers to the left and right. He's going to motion number 20. It's going to be a play-action fake. He's going to have some.
And he's sacked!
Number 1 for John Marshall, Dorian Middleton on the sack. Just coming off that edge, and he had nowhere to go.
I mean, Dorian Middleton, relentless pursuit to the ball, great execution, great job getting around those blockers for Heritage Hall and getting the sack. He actually had a few of his partners over there ready to get that sack too.
There was a swarm of Bears. I'm not sure, what do you call a group of Bears?
I don't know what you call a group of Bears, but I haven't ran up them on, and I don't plan on it.
We'll get back to some Bear talk here in a second. As Bass in the pistol. It's going to be a quarterback run.
Dorian Middleton again, shooting out in that backfield like a missile.
Bass gains about almost what he lost, about 6 yards on that play. You know, I don't know if you saw it. This is a little sidetrack of the game, but there was a black bear sighting in Edmond by Showbiz. So if you go to Showbiz Cinemas, watch out. There might be a black bear loose.
Be careful. We don't need any bear attacks. Keep your bear mace handy.
Yep. Hey, bears are moving their way into the inner parts of the country, but I digress. As Heritage Hall here, quarterback, Bass, takes it. He's going to pump fake, throws it deep. And it looks like there might have been a holding on John Marshall, but the ref doesn't see it. So, hey, fair game.
Looks like it was just a little bit collision in that crossing route. Number 44 is trying to break open and get into his route. Of course, the quarterback likes what he sees. Number 44, Cooper Cookson.
And it's going to be fourth down, about 4th and 12. Good stop from John Marshall. Good way to bow their necks right there and just rise to the occasion. Their offense needs a little bit of help, and they bailed them out.
They definitely do. Great job by the defense coming out here and setting the tone tonight.
We'll see what the strategy is here for Heritage Hall as it's 4th and 12. Will they, you know, do a little pooch punt? They're going for it as they're in a really heavy pistol set. Bass, it's going to be a pass. The play action fake. He's going to scramble to his right. He's got some room to run. 45-40, 35-30, 25 even. Trouble guy. And he runs over number 1, Dorian Middleton, with some authority. Gets down to the John Marshall 21-yard line. What a play by the quarterback,
Yeah,
Andy
what a play
Bass.
by quarterback Andy Bass, coming through, showing the strength. He said these Bears aren't going to toss him around anywhere. He's showing the Bears what the Chargers are about on their home field tonight as they're entering the red zone.
And just a play you want to see your quarterback make. Very physical play. Exclamation point on that run. What have you.
I'm sure they're hoping that's flowing through that sideline as well.
As Bass getting to work again in the shotgun. 2 receivers set to the left, single receiver to the right. He's got an H-back to his left. And they're going to give it to number 25, and he's going to get met by number 5 from John Marshall and number 32 from John Marshall. It's number 5, Shaz Guilford, and number 32, Sean Powell.
It's a great job by those 2 Bears, staying in position on that read option.
I'd have to agree they did a good job holding that edge right there.
And honestly, I believe that's all they need to do. They didn't have a bad first possession. We just need the defense to stay in position. We need to be sure tackling out there, setting our feet and running through contact.
As Bass in the shotgun, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. He's going to be
a screen only to Dorian Middleton.
Oh! Wow! Dorian Middleton almost made the play of the game so far as he tips one up into the air and couldn't keep his feet as he would have had 6 the other way.
I mean, he's just having the biggest impact right now. I mean, the coach is just letting him loose on the edge of that defense, and he's just terrorizing those Chargers.
There's a reason they let him wear number 1. If you wear number 1, you're supposed to be certified, and that was certified right there. As it's 7-0, Heritage Hall, 4 minutes left. 3rd and 7 on the John Marshall 19-yard line. We'll see what happens here on 3rd down. This is going to be another 3rd down, man. John Marshall, can they force a 4th down here as they hand it off to number 25? And what a solid tackle by number 5, Shaz Guilford, again, calling his name early.
I mean, great job by Shaz Guilford earlier. I told you to watch out for him. This is a great job getting off of his block, getting to that ball carrier. That's what you want to see from this defense all night. This is the 2nd, 4th down of this drive.
It's going to be 4th and 5 from about the 17 of John Marshall. They're going to be in the pistol, Heritage Hall is. 2 receivers to the left, single receiver to the right. Ball is snapped. He's going to fire it quick to Ori Walker, and it's behind him. He had him wide open. And then what a huge break for John Marshall. Sometimes it's better off to be lucky than good.
Yeah, it was getting pretty physical out there with number 9 of the John Marshall Bears, James Allen, matched up on number 2 for the Chargers, Ori Walker. It was just getting physical off the ball. It seems like he couldn't really get into his route.
Exactly, and, you know, almost another red zone opportunity there. Almost another red zone opportunity as they, you know, they needed to get a little bit further.
I mean, I love to see it again. They're just showing that they want to set the tone, these John Marshall Bears, on defense as we come to see the offense get ready.
Yeah, John Marshall, they're going to run back onto the field here. Number 6 back there at quarterback, Terrence Caldwell. And it's going to be a handoff, or a snap to Caldwell as he takes it up the middle, So it looks like their approach is going to be we're going to run the ball, control the clock, and try not to beat ourselves.
I mean, exactly, and it seems like you're improvising here because Davian Taylor's not playing. He's been getting a majority of those quarterback snaps. Again, he's only had 12 attempts on the year throwing, Terrence Crawford, so we don't look for him to throw a lot. Just get positive yardage, keep it on the ground, not turn the ball over.
I agree. It's going to be 2nd and 6 from John Marshall's own 22. Caldwell with the snap. It's going to be a handoff to number 5, Guilford. Guilford fights for every yard he can right there. Going to be about a 2-yard gain, set up a 3rd and manageable for the Bears.
Great technique. Great job spinning off of that contact and leaning forward.
Didn't stop his feet on contact right there. You love to see that as a young player. College coaches love that trait.
I mean, he's got a big lower body too, man. He's coming with some force.
As 2:20 and ticking, 3rd and 2 from John Marshall's own 25. Single receivers to the left and right of this formation in the pistol for Caldwell. It's going to be a handoff again to Guilford. They just said, oh, was the ball out?
Loses the football at the end
I thought
of
he
the
was
play.
down. Thought he was down. Looks
They
like
might
the refs,
call him down, DB.
Looks like the refs are going to rule him down. So Guilford, tough run right there as he's going to get, I don't want to speak too fast. Looks like they're going to confirm on if it was a first down or not. Nope, seems like they're just going to go ahead and signal it. No debate needed.
Great job moving the sticks by the John Marshall Bears. Let's go. I'm excited for this drive.
Yes, sir. We like to see some good football here. 2 minutes left and ticking in this first quarter. John Marshall at the 30 of their own 33-yard line at 1st and 10. They trail 7-0. Caldwell in the shotgun.
We've got Davian Taylor finally back in that offensive backfield.
And it's going to be a quarterback sweep off to the right, and he's going to get slung to the ground by number 55, Xavier Freeman of Heritage Hall.
Not too sure what happened on that play, DB.
Well, 2nd down, 2nd and 11, I believe they lost a yard. That last first down was brought to you by Big O's Pork and Dreams. I love me Big O's Pork and Dreams.
Hey, shout out Coach O, Big O's Pork and Dreams. We need to go by there, man.
Shoot, I need to get me some nice brisket.
We need a late night special, Coach O.
As they're going to need a special here on 2nd and 11. John Marshall Bears get the ball. They're going to hand it off to number 5, Guilford, and he's not going to gain a yard. I believe they might have gotten back to the original sticks.
Great job by number 11, Zach Fetro at linebacker.
They gained 2 yards, so it's going to be 3rd and 9 from their own 29 with 45 seconds and ticking left in this first quarter. I mean, hey, good job by John Marshall. They're just trying to keep it simple. Control the clock. They know this Heritage Hall team has some athletes.
They're definitely using a lot of variations. We see Davian Taylor out there finally, the guy that got most of those quarterback snaps last week, but now he's split out at a tight end position.
John Marshall gets the snap, and it's going to be a pre-snap penalty that might have been a false start or an offsides. Offsides, and that's going to be on Heritage Hall. Don't believe we got a number. But doesn't matter. It's on the Chargers nonetheless. So it's going to set up a 3rd and very manageable 3rd and 4. Can't do that.
I mean, still crucial 3rd down, DB. I mean, we want to get a first down so we can cross that 50 and get in our own territory. Again, Davian Taylor split out there on tight end.
And we got John Marshall staying in the pistol. Another handoff up the middle to Guilford. Guilford, oh, ball might have came out there.
And John Marshall recovers the football on their own, matter of fact, Heritage Hall's 29-yard line.
So they're going to hop back on their football that they fumbled. So a 3rd and manageable becomes a 3rd and not so manageable as the first quarter is over, 7-0 Heritage Hall up.
Oklahoma City, I'm Miles Perry, and I want you to tune into my show, Super Prep Live.
Super Prep Live takes an in-depth look at the Oklahoma high school student athlete and what makes he or she become great at what they do. Super Prep Live can be heard on OKC'S CBS Sports Radio 105.3 and Instagram Live.
Make sure you tune in and learn about the next great student athlete on Super Prep Live with me, Miles Perry.
Injuries don't wait. for business hours. Now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or a broken bone, at the SSM Health Bone and Joint Injury Clinic at 13401 Northwestern. Injuries don't wait. For business hours, now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or a broken bone, at the SSM Health Bone and Joint Injury Clinic at 13401 Northwestern.
Welcome back. John Marshall trails 7-0 against Heritage Hall as we get this second quarter getting ready to get underway. This is going to be a 4th and 8. John Marshall's own 30-yard line. We'll see what they do here. I'm expecting a punt. What about you, Jamin?
I don't know if those sticks are right or they didn't change it yet, but it says first down. Of course, we're in a 4th down situation. You would like to just punt the ball and get the best field position for your defense. But if not, I want to keep seeing these mixes of 10 and 11 personnel to get some different handoffs going on.
Looks like John Marshall, they're going to stay in the shotgun formation. Quarterback scrambles off to his right, tosses it up into the air to no one. Incomplete pass.
Incomplete pass. Good job rolling out to evade the pressure. Passes just a little off and kind of sails into this wind, DB. We got a lot of wind out here at Charger Stadium.
Oh, I agree 100%, Jamin. Something that, you know, these teams are going to have to deal with the whole night. You know, Oklahoma wind. This isn't something that's
Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain.
No doubt, you know, the wind is coming sleeping down the plain. And John Marshall trying to confer with their coaches on what they're about to do. They check with the coaches on the sideline. Heritage Hall's defense lined up, ready to go as John Marshall's going to be in the pistol or shotgun. Hard to tell the depth of the quarterback. As they got trips receivers to the left of the formation. Handoff to number 5, Guilford.
Got a flag.
And Guilford makes a couple guys miss, and he's going to gain about 6 or 7, but there is a flag.
And hopefully it's on that Charger defense, as we're getting a call from the refs here.
As it looks like it's going to be on John Marshall. That ball's going to go backwards.
And again, we're doing such a great job on that ground attack, but we got to protect the football and minimize these penalties here if we're going to win.
100%. You know, John Marshall really, it's nothing that Heritage Hall has done to them. It's all been self-inflicted.
Definitely self-inflicted. We want to see them corrected going on in this first half, going along with the second.
And it's something that Heritage Hall is not going to be complaining about. You love when teams are hurting themselves and giving you free yards.
I mean, especially when you're at home. Losing last week on your home field as well. You want to give these fans something to cheer about.
As we see John Marshall here in the shotgun. Guilford off to the quarterback's right. And it's going to be a pitch play to the receiver. One of those plays the Chiefs run, that little quarterback, pass to the receiver. You know, he doesn't really pass it. He kind of tosses it. Doesn't go anywhere.
I mean, we already had a couple charges in that backfield. Number 2, Ori Walker, and number 44, Cooper Cookson. They were just waiting on him to get to the side of the ball, get to that boundary side there, ready to wrap him up.
So we'll see if John Marshall can get 14 yards here on 3rd down to get that Big O's Pork and Dreams first down. As they look over at different signals their coaches are giving them.
And that was a big play they ran on 1st down. I like them being aggressive, but I want to see them kind of do shorter routes instead of those 10 to 15 yarders. Keep it at 5 to 7, dink and dime down the field.
As the quarterback, he's going to fire this one deep off to the right side, a little bit underthrown, but he catches it, number 13, Mikael Jackson.
I mean, that's
snags it.
Great job playing the ball in the air, great route, great timing. Mikael Jackson making that play going up for the John Marshall Bears.
Mikael Jackson, you are ridiculous. What a play.
They finally get it past the 50. They always had that big play ability, and we're finally just matching them up, and now we just need to keep a good flow of offense going so we can get in that end zone.
As John Marshall in Heritage Hall territory. 10 minutes and ticking in this second quarter. Heritage Hall up 7-0, 1st and 10 on the Heritage Hall 46. As it's going to be a shotgun formation, 2 receivers to the right. Handoff to Guilford, and he fights for every yard right there, about 4 or 5 yard gain.
great physical run by Shaz Gilliford, excuse me.
And talk about Terrence Caldwell, man. I'm not sure if he knew he was going to be playing quarterback tonight, or obviously we're not there every day at practice, but what a play is. He set this team up on 2nd and 5. You know, his quarterbacking has been pretty decent tonight.
I mean, he's just an athlete, man. Playing both sides of the ball, linebacker. He's a ball carrier. He can be a receiver. And here we go, seeing him at quarterback in his second game.
And he's going to have another handoff to Guilford. They have a mess up on the exchange, but it looks like they hop back on it. And it looks like they would have had some room to run right there.
And for anybody that's never played football, when you get a fumble like that, I mean, that's just focus. We just need to dial in and get ready to execute on this second down here.
As we see John Marshall looking over at the sideline, it's going to be about 3rd and 6 from the Charger 42-yard line. And, you know, Caldwell, a guy that is an athlete, but someone that doesn't look too bad, I'd say. Doesn't look, you know, like this is too much for him.
I mean, ahead of this game, he was the leading tackler for his team. So, overall athlete, man.
I'll do anything, Coach. Caldwell in the shotgun. Ooh, looks like we got to delay a game. So we got to delay a game. Might have gotten a timeout before that.
I mean, and again, it's just one of those detrimental things for the John Marshall Bears. But, I mean, it's just a part of growth.
They
New
got the
quarterback
timeout.
in tonight. Still getting variations going. Good job. We got that timeout. Good job.
So not going to cost them 5 yards, but
I retract that statement.
this timeout's brought to you by Dick Sporting Goods. Timeout is brought to you by Dick Sporting Goods. And I'll tell you what, Dick Sporting Goods is better than Academy.
I remember growing up, before I got to high school, we didn't have a Dick's Sporting Goods in Oklahoma City. The closest one was Wichita, Kansas. And, of course, they just had great advertisements. I mean, the best pro athletes at the time are in the commercials, so why would you not want to go to Dick's?
You know, I'm just saying, the Academy commercial, I don't know. I feel like they got the right place with the low prices. That's probably Dick's Sporting Goods.
Every single day.
I was somebody that, you know,
Academy.
I was either going to Ross or I was going to Dick's for the
And
cleats.
no smut on Ross. I found plenty of vapor gloves,
plenty of
of
cleats.
cleats at Ross. Big shout out to Ross.
Yeah, big shout out to Ross. They still shop there to this day. They're not a sponsor, though. Dick's Sporting Goods is our timeout sponsor.
Shout out to Dick's Sporting Goods.
As we have the John Marshall Bears on 3rd and 6 looking to extend this drive. Terrence Caldwell in the shotgun. Guilford off to his right. Twins receivers to the left. It's going to be a handoff to Guilford. And he might have got that first down on 3rd and 6. Ooh, they
You know
didn't.
who Guilford is reminding me of right now? Zeke Elliott. I mean, it's just like as soon as he gets that contact, he's automatic 2-3 more yards. You love to see it, especially sticking with this ground attack tonight.
And it looks like it's going to be 4th and about 2 from the Charger 38-yard line. Big play here. 8 minutes left in the second quarter. 7-0 ball game. Let's see what John Marshall's got here on 4th down.
I'm no expert, but let's look for the run.
As it's getting a little loud here, quarterbacks making sure everyone hears the snap. It's going to be, oh, he's lost the snap!
And he lost the football. Waiting for the Heritage Hall. Chargers picks it up and he's running.
That's going to be Rashad Smith. He's with a convoy. Touchdown. Heritage Hall. They execute on the 4th down mishap. Rashad Smith scoop and score. Rumble, young man rumble. Woo!
I mean, that's just a big play. The best players make the biggest plays at the best times of the game. I mean, that's a big, crucial 4th down for the John Marshall Bears, trying to finally get in the end zone. Great play by Rashad Smith, picking that up and running it all the way back for the Chargers touchdown.
That is an absolute back-breaking play for John Marshall. Something that cannot happen, but it did.
Cannot happen. We just got to be focused and dialed in. We got guys injured,
Ooh,
moving
Heritage
around.
Hall runs the swing gate, and they're going to score. 2-point conversion, 15-0 Heritage Hall. 7:43 left in this first half.
Rashad Smith have a ball, way to score and punch it in for the extra point.
Wow.
Way to go.
15-0, John Marshall is trailing with 7:43 left in the first half. John Marshall going to have some quick memories there.
Yeah, quick memory. I mean, you're in good field position. They're getting better every single drive on offense, so we want to just continue to give them the confidence by sticking to the ground game. Shaz Gilliford's been doing a great job punching it in for him, so we just want to slow it down a little bit, assure Terrence that he's going to be okay. Just stay poised in the pocket. He's already made a good pass. Kind of dangerous with the wind. I want to say the wind took it.
I'm not sure what happened on that snap, if it was a little bit off to his left or right, if the snap was cockeyed or something. But, we're going to do a little bit of a scoring recap brought to you by KYZ, the life-changing bar. I've never personally had one of them, but it sounds delectable. Sounds delectable.
We got to get that try, DB. It sounds healthy. I'm not gonna lie to you. It sounds very healthy.
Sound like something that's gonna have the vitamins you need, vitamin A, B, C, D, however far they go, the list goes.
Sounds like I'm gonna need a water with that.
Yeah, sounds like it's gonna be something that's gonna be a mouthful of nutrition. Again, that is gonna be the KYZ life-changing bar. That scoring recap was brought to you by KYZ life-changing bar. Heritage Hall Chargers here. The special teams unit looking to kick it off to the Bears.
They've had some great returns in the special teams unit. We want to see one right now. I mean, especially in the position of the game, they need one right now.
15-0 is the score, but honestly, this game could be 15-15, 7-7, 0-0. Both these teams are playing good, and the score is just not reflecting that for John Marshall right now.
About halfway in the second quarter, we get the kickoff.
Cooper Counts going to kick that one. He's going to boom it for a touchback. Cooper Counts, what a kick for Heritage Hall.
Yeah, great kick. Like we love DB. Kicker is so lethal when he can kick it, get a touchback.
No
That's what
doubt.
you love to see. You don't want to give those John Marshall Bears any chances of getting a big return.
They always talk. Coaches always talk about that hidden yardage, and that hidden yardage is penalty yards and special teams yards. So you can get the touchback. You're really not hating as a coach, I would imagine. John Marshall back on offense. Got to take care of the ball. They had a really good drive going.
Again, really good drive. We had some variations, too, on that first down, about on the same 20-yard line that they started on that last possession.
You have John Marshall going to have a 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line, 7:43 to go in this first half. It's a beautiful night here tonight in Oklahoma City. As Terrence Caldwell, he's going to take this snap, run it to the right side, and he's going to get met by number 11 of the Heritage Hall Chargers, Zach Fetro.
They take a different approach on that play. Quarterback, he's patient, but as the motion comes around, he runs around the motion player, creating him as a blocker, trying to set the edge and just collect some yards on that sideline. It just doesn't work out. Those Chargers are relentless.
As we see John Marshall get ready for another 2nd and 10 on their own 20-yard line.
You can hear that wind in our mics now, DB. These people are finally getting a sense of that wind power that we got going on this field.
I'll tell you what, man. We had some turbines. We could power a whole city right now. As Terrence Caldwell here in the shotgun, Guilford to his right.
Trying to get his receiver on the line.
He's going to throw that one to the left side of the field to number 1. Dorian Middleton, he's going to juke a guy again. Make him look slow, make him look confused.
Great play, but we got a flag on the field. Let's wait for the verdict.
Dorian Middleton, what a play. I believe it's going to be roughing the passer. It could have been a holding, though. We'll wait to see what the ref has to say. Number 44 for the Heritage Hall Chargers thinks it's going to be coming back. That's Cooper Cookson. He believes that's coming back. And it might be. We see everyone walking back. Yep. Holding. So that's going to wipe out a very big play for John Marshall. And again, a self-inflicted wound. What have we been talking about early on this night?
I mean, what a big blow after a big play. Just bittersweet. But again, it's a long game. It's a game of 4 quarters. It's a game of inches. So we need to stay mentally prepared and ready to execute and get out of your own. Get out of your 10-yard line. You're inside the 10.
You got to get out of the shadow of your own end zone.
That's dangerous. We need strong blockers in there to prevent a safety.
Exactly. It's going to be 2nd and 21 for the John Marshall Bear offense. 6:43 left in this second quarter. Quarterback Terrence Caldwell is going to be still in the backfield. Guilford to his left. He's going to have twins receivers to his right with a tight end, or excuse me, an H-back to his left. Caldwell back. He's going to scramble. Looks off to his left. He fires that one, and it looks like it's intercepted. They're going to say that one was intercepted.
Yeah, number 2
Nope.
for the Bears.
No, they're not. They're going to say that one was incomplete. Excuse me. I thought it was intercepted.
I hate to say it, but for number 2 for the Bears, we don't have his name on the roster, but the route, he just runs right into the defender. Defender, great play on the ball. Doesn't count, of course, but another
great
chance
effort.
for the Bears.
Great effort.
Great effort play.
As it's 3rd and 21 from the Bears' own 9-yard line here in the second quarter. 6:33 left. Looks like They need to just try to get any type of positive momentum on this offense. He's going to scramble out to his right. He's going to throw it to number 4. He had it. He juggled the ball in his hands, but he was hit, and the ball falls incomplete. Jeremy Rideau, the senior Jeremy Rideau, on with the drop.
Haven't seen a lot of action from Rideau tonight, but first catch, he just bobbles it a little bit.
Not sure if he was ready for that one.
Not sure if he was either, but hey, every play's got to be a big play for the Bears. They're trying to convert.
I had a former coach that would say, you know, if you stare ready, you never have to get ready, right?
Right.
I don't know.
Hey, man, if you study long, you study wrong, DB.
Hey, exactly.
That's the test of time.
Who is that? This is going to be Ori Walker back for the punt return for Heritage Hall. He's had a few plays tonight that were pretty good.
He's standing at about the 30. Looks pretty confident that he's going to get a good return. Not far. As he backs up, we get a fire call.
What a play. Not a bad punt. You know, for high school, not a terrible punt, as Heritage Hall is going to get the ball from John Marshall's about, what did you say, 28-yard line?
About the 28, and this just creates a hectic situation for the John Marshall defense. You want to have a great stand, but
They don't have far to go.
I know for sure the Chargers are hungry to get back in that end zone. It's been a little while since they've been.
Yeah, we'll see what quarterback Bass can do. Andy Bass been playing pretty good tonight. Jogs back onto the field, gets into the huddle to lead his Chargers on the field.
They're definitely sharing the wealth tonight between their ball carriers and their best athletes.
As they're going to be in the pistol set. He's got a running back to his left and a running back behind him. It's going to be a play-action fake. He's going to fire this one deep to the left side to number 2, Ori Walker, just out of his reach. He wanted it all.
Number 2, Ori Walker, he runs a great route. The ball's just a little ahead of him. He makes a good play for it. He dives for it. You wonder if he catches it, can he toe drag and maybe get it?
You know, we haven't seen a lot of River Faulkner tonight. Have not seen a lot of him. As we see this Heritage Hall offense, they're not going to huddle. They're just going to see what coach has for them. Staying in that pistol, 2-back set, 2 receivers to the left, single receiver to the right. Going to be a handoff to the left side, and that's going to be number 9, Jackson Carter, the junior.
Great blocking by number 11 for the Chargers, Zach Fetro on there.
Just an overall good play. You know, had solid blocking and a good handoff.
That block definitely cleared the way for a couple more yards.
As we see here, looks like, oh, penalty. Didn't see that flag. Not sure where the flag was. Looks like it's going to be from the near side judge, Lions judge. So that play didn't happen. Wipe it from your memory like Will Smith in Men in Black.
Men in Black. Can't lie, I haven't seen that movie, DB. I might be disappointing a lot of listeners right now.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of want to go off on a tangent on that. You ain't seen Men in Black. That's kind of, I digress. We call it a football game as Anthony Bass in at quarterback, running back off to his left. That's Carter. It's going to be a direct snap to the quarterback. He's going to take it to the left side. Bass is going to get to the John Marshall 28, 27-yard line. It's going to set up 2nd and 9. So or 3rd and 9, excuse me. So they gain those. They get it back to a 3rd and 10, 3rd and 9 area.
I mean, Dorian Middleton, it looks like he's putting in that work, serious work. He's coming off that edge, and it looks so routine how fast he's getting back there and making the tackle.
Anthony Bass in the pistol. Jackson Carter directly behind him. And it's going to be a handoff to Jackson Carter to the left side. And he's not going to get anywhere. That John Marshall defense was there, particularly number 56, Alante Benford, the senior.
Great stand by John Marshall, specifically defensive line, getting off of their blocks as soon as the ball carrier was looking to take off. Saw about 2 or 3 white jerseys become free.
And it's going to be 4th and 7, 4:35 and ticking in this second quarter. 15-0, big 4th down here for John Marshall's defense. As we hear the crowd a little bit, get a little liver, we hear that those drums get a little louder. As Anthony Bass in the pistol, twins to the right, single receiver to the left. He's got Ori Walker off to the left. Watch that matchup. Jackson Carter's going to be behind him in the pistol. He looks off to his left, looks it right. He's looking for Ori Walker. Touchdown, Ori Walker. Bass to Walker. Did I call it or did I call it?
I think he called it, DB. I know number 3 for the John Marshall Bears is shaking his head right now. Ball just floats right over those 2 defenders. Great job by Ori Walker.
big-time play by Ori Walker, man. That was a huge touchdown. It's going to be 21-0. Heritage Hall awaiting the extra point, or if they go for two on another swinging gate look.
And that's what we're going to get, DB. Still trying to get a call from that Heritage Hall sideline.
Still lining up in that swinging gate formation.
It's been working out for them. They scored on one.
Liam Burton is that guy that would get the snap, but they're going to motion back to a regular extra point look. As kicker Carter Counts awaits the snap to boot this one. Extra points up, and it's good. 22-0, 4:09 left in the second quarter. Heritage Hall 22, John Marshall, nothing.
Oklahoma City, I'm Miles Perry, and I want you to tune in to my show, Super Prep Live.
Super Prep Live takes an in-depth look at the Oklahoma high school student athlete and what makes he or she become great at what they do. Super Prep Live can be heard on OKC'S CBS Sports Radio 105.3 and Instagram Live.
Make sure you tune in and learn about the next great student athlete on Super Prep Live with me, Miles Perry.
And we are back. Heritage Hall up 22-0 against John Marshall with 4:09 left in the second quarter. What a drive by Heritage Hall, though. The KYZ life-changing bar. Scoring recap. Heritage Hall drove down the field and scored. It only took them 28 yards as that kick by Carter Counts sails over the head of the John Marshall returner.
I mean, they're just spreading the wealth out there. I mean, you got a big target like Ori Walker, wide receiver, 6'3", 192. Guy that can go up and get it. He's definitely beating any matchup physically that any DB can offer for the John Marshall Bears right now. But we want to see them come out with a better punch.
I agree 110%. John Marshall, man, 4 minutes left. This is stuff that you coach every week, 4-minute offense. Let's see what they can do right here.
And this is a great opportunity. I mean, best clock management-wise position, you could bleed out that whole clock and possibly get in the end zone, DB.
Let's see what they have in store for us. Number 6, Terrence Caldwell in the backfield, quarterback. He's going to hand it off to Guilford. Guilford's going to break a tackle. Physical runner, man. Reminds me a little bit of Jamal Lewis from that early 2000s Raven team.
I agree. For anybody that's really doing their football homework, anybody younger than us, I don't really think they'll know Jamal Lewis.
Hey, Jamal Lewis was a dog. Look him up. Physical
Go to YouTube,
runner.
man.
Ran for 2,000 yards. He's certified.
Great Baltimore Raven.
As John Marshall here, they're going to stay in the shotgun here. Terrence Caldwell, quarterback, snaps the, oh,
We get a bad snap.
And I'm not sure who hopped on that. We'll have to wait. Have a little bit of snap issues.
Yeah. Of course, that time it worked out in our favor on the recovery, but we want to tighten that up. I wonder maybe if that's maybe the root of the issue from these 4 or 5 bad snaps we've had.
Some of that, I'm sure a different quarterback back there does not help. There's a different relationship you got to establish, QB to center. But we got 3 minutes, or 3 minutes give or take. 3rd and 2, 22-0. Heritage Hall looking to force a 4th down here for this John Marshall offense. Caldwell takes the snap, handoff to Guilford up the middle. Really,
gets the first down.
John Marshall really taking the Iowa offense approach. 2 yards in a cloud of dust. We're just going to out-physical you. They're just sticking to their game plan.
Yep. I mean, just pounding them. They already run a lot of 10 and 11 personnel, so.
And that first down is brought to you by Big O's Pork and Dream. Pork and Dreams, excuse me, is 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in this second quarter.
Love
First
to get
and
a fresh
10.
set of downs, DB. Love to see it.
Caldwell, quarterback. It's going to be a handoff to Guilford, and he's going to gain about a yard on that play.
I think the Chargers are starting to pick up on this scheme. They got some big guys up front, so mentality by now, they should definitely be thinking run.
About 2nd and 8. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in this first half. You know, we'd like, John Marshall, they still got time, but, they might want to move with a little bit of more sense of urgency.
Yep, faster pace, maybe just stick to what we know, just get a good rhythm going on.
But that's obviously something that's hard to do. We saw that Monday night with the Broncos and Seahawks. No sense of urgency with the Broncos, but I digress. John Marshall on 2nd and 8. Caldwell's going to fake the play-action play, scramble to his right, throw it to number 32, Sean Powell, and he's going to get hit before he can hold on to that one.
Yeah, we got a flag on that play. Number 82 for the Chargers, jumping up to get that tackle, Terrence Johnson.
And there is a flag.
Yeah, Terrence Johnson really went airborne there to get the defender down, to get the offender down, excuse me.
The officials are conversing. I don't know if conversating is a word. They're going to wave that flag. No flag, looks like, no flag.
I think you could say conversing. Hopefully none of my English teachers are listening.
Conversing, right? It's not conversating, right? Conversating is not a word. Well, this isn't literature arts, so this is football. 146, Heritage Hall leading the John Marshall Bears 22-0. It's 3rd and 8 from John Marshall's own 33-yard line. They're going to stay in the pistol formation. Caldwell is going to be quarterback. Guilford to his right. Single receivers to the left and right. And they had some pre-snap problems there. Number 13, Mikael Jackson, we've called his name for good tonight. He wasn't on the line. They had to burn a timeout.
Yeah, the quarterback was trying to get him on the line. He's been trying to communicate with him all night. Just some bad communication there. We'll fix it up, I'm sure.
146 left. Really what you're just trying to maybe get a quick score, but really just not turn over the ball, or you really want to get a first down. You don't want to give this ball back to this explosive offense.
Right, you definitely want to get a fresh set of downs. Pretty sure we'll have a good running attack for that. But beyond that, if we get this first down, I want to see them be aggressive and just take a shot to the end zone.
I agree. A beautiful night tonight. Still windy, but I mean, it's a very beautiful night. Where else would you rather be?
I mean, what else can you do? Us Oklahomans are used to dealing with all the weather conditions. We might get all 4 seasons in one day.
That's how bipolar this weather is. That's how, there's a bunch of different explanations for why the weather is the way it is here. But, shoot, that's for another time and another place to discuss. I got my own opinions on that.
Yep, they don't pay us those big bucks there, DB.
And shoot, they might take that $100 away that I'm getting tonight. Who knows? But, hey, I do know one thing. We're going to get 3rd and 8 right here for John Marshall and their offense. Caldwell back at quarterback, looking to his right. He's going to fire one off to his right to number 13, Mikael Jackson. He's double covered. Number 13 for the Heritage Hall Chargers, Liam Burton, playing safety, comes over the top. That was coverage, though, from the corner position by number 88.
Got Gerard Williams. That was great coverage, great safety help coming over. We got a 4th and 8 for the Bears.
And I'd imagine this is going to be a punt. And you're going to hopefully play good defense here. As we see Ori Walker back to receive the punt. He's had some big plays here tonight. We'll see if he can do something crazy here.
Yeah, we got a good last punt from the John Marshall kicker. See if we can get another one.
Mikael Jackson, the late sub for this team. And another penalty for this John Marshall team. Having some frustrating times. I'm sure Chris Burtis on the sideline, but he's got a young group of guys, so that comes with growing pains.
I mean, young group of guys, first-year head coach for the John Marshall Bears.
Trying to install his foundation, his program, what he wants this stuff, this team built upon.
And it's still the 3rd game, DB. It's still early. Most
Gotta
teams
work
aren't
to the
even
kinks.
we're not even in district play yet.
We are not even in district play where the games hold the most weight. The snap gets back there for the punt, but that's going to go straight up in the air. Doesn't go very far, but it had a lot of hang time, so Ori Walker will not be able to return that, but it'll be Heritage Hall Charger first down from John Marshall's 47-yard line.
Yeah. Low snap from the kicker, but good job getting it, punting it off. Got some great height on it. Not a lot of length, but just enough to get those Chargers just ahead of the 50, so they're creeping into their side of the field.
1st and 10 for the Heritage Hall Chargers. 1:31 left in the second quarter, 22-0. Heritage Hall over the Bears. Oh, bad snap. Bass, he's going to run around a little bit. He's going to try to, it looked like a jump shot almost.
And that's the kicker, number 58, Gray Keller, coming through to get that tackle. Great job.
You know, I was very good. It looked like he tried to kind of chest pass the ball away, Bass did, or he tried to do reminded me of when Justin Tuck and Michael Strahan used to do the fadeaway celebration for sacks. That's a little bit of a dated reference, but Heritage Hall is moving right here. Bass with the snap. He's going to scramble to his left. And he's just going to take that one out of bounds and lose about a yard or two on that one.
We got flags flying, DB.
Man, we got laundry all over the field, man. We'll see what that is all about. 56 seconds left to play in the first half. 22-0, Heritage Hall over John Marshall.
And one thing for this John Marshall defense, angles have become vital. We got to take great angles trying to get these players from Heritage Hall. Angles have definitely been detrimental to some of those big plays.
I agree. And it's going to be holding on Heritage Hall. Both teams have been victims to holding penalties that have kind of killed drives or just put them in just worse positions.
There are plenty penalties from both sides, but Heritage Hall has seemed to get themselves out of the hole that they've dug themselves in.
And 55 seconds and ticking in this second quarter. Yeah, a little bit of flub there, but the refs say, hey, stop. We got to talk. Something's up. I'm not sure that clock was supposed to be running. And they're talking on the field about, so yep, they're going to put 54 seconds back on the clock. And this play will be able to go underway. 3rd and 24 for the Heritage Hall Chargers in their own territory at their own 39. In the pistol, Bass. He fires one deep. He's looking for number 13. And it's going to fall incomplete. He was looking for Liam Burton right there.
And he just leads him.
It looks like John Marshall was ready for something deep over the top, though.
Definitely. They're definitely prepared for anything. Heritage Hall has a lot of great playmakers with great size on those ends, so you got to beware of those matchups, especially in down and distance.
And that's going to be 4th and 24 for the Heritage Hall Chargers, as looks like they're going to set up for a punt here and just play defense and be prepared to go to the half. Looks like Bass is the punter as well. Timeout, John Marshall. Tell you what, this has been the longest minute and a half of game time.
Definitely the longest, but it seems to be going in the favor of the Bears as they get the ball back one more time before the half.
We'll see what they can do. You know, this is an offense that hasn't looked bad at times. This is an offense that has been able to move the ball in the run game especially. You know, besides that one big pass play to Mikael Jackson, they really haven't had much.
Haven't went too deep. Just playing safe football. You got to play safe football in these conditions where the wind is so high. But the ground game has been excellent.
And that's something, obviously, John Marshall, if the score was maybe closer, it'd be something that'd be a little bit easier to run. But, you know, as time moves on, they're going to have to get out of that running game and start throwing it a little bit.
Definitely. It's a 3-score game. You got to have big plays. You got to attack that defense.
And maybe they're waiting for the adjustments to be made at the end of this first half and go back and come out firing in the second half. But
They've
you know,
definitely proven to be a resilient team. They come out in that second half and they play with a different energy.
no doubt, as Bass back, he's going to roll out to his right and do a little rugby punt. That's going to land at about the 30, and it's going to bounce to about the John Marshall 25? 26, excuse me.
I mean, we've been living in that area of the field, DB, these past 3 offensive drives.
Not bad field position for this John Marshall offense. 37 seconds left. We'll see how aggressive Chris Burris is with this team. As you know, Bruce Bogert, the head coach of Heritage Hall, cannot be too upset with what has happened this first half.
Can't be too upset. Any mistake they have made, they haven't had to pay for it yet. So we'll see what the John Marshall Bears do with this offensive possession going into halftime.
As it's going to be Caldwell back at quarterback, as it's been tonight. Guilford to his left. It's going to be a handoff to Guilford. And Guilford's going to get swallowed up by a host of Chargers.
The best word I could describe for this defense is just anxious. They seem jittery just to the snap. Got good guys with some good movement, staying active, ready to fly to the ball.
And Heritage Hall is going to call a timeout. It's going to be their first used timeout of the half, I believe. So it's going to be 2nd and 12 for the John Marshall Bears at their own 23. So it looks like they want this ball back. Heritage Hall does.
They definitely do. They want to play the best field position as possible. So to get that ball back and just to get at least one playoff is great momentum heading into the locker room.
Well, I mean, as we've talked about earlier in this broadcast, the winners of the toss was John Marshall. They elected to defer, so they will be getting the ball back, and they'll be on offense. So it's something that maybe if you're Heritage Hall, you're like, hey, let's get 4 possessions up on them. And, you know, and then, hey, if they score, it's still 3 possessions instead of 2 possessions.
Definitely.
So, you know, I wonder if that's kind of what they're going for.
I believe so. I mean, they're on their home field. They seem to be in control of this game. So they want to try to put it out away. Put it out the way.
And we see John Marshall, Caldwell back at quarterback with Guilford to his right. We got single receivers to the left and right of this formation.
Get some
Number
motion.
4 comes in motion. He's going to come back to the left. It's a handoff to Guilford to the left side of that formation. He's going to go nowhere. He's going to lose about two yards on that run.
And again, Heritage Hall's defense anticipating the run.
Another timeout.
Great job getting sideline to sideline.
Another timeout by Heritage Hall, excuse me. And we've seen this Heritage Hall defense play from sideline to sideline. They've got the cats to do that, and they've looked pretty good so far in all phases of the game.
Looked excellent in all phases. Handling the line of scrimmage, excuse me. Great linebacker play. We've had some big plays from that safety position, number 13 for Heritage Hall. Zach Fetro. Excuse me, that's number 11. Liam Burton.
Liam Burton, we've called his name a few times tonight. Someone that's definitely an impact player for these Chargers. And, you know, we talk a little bit about the history of this Heritage Hall team. You know, they won the state title in football in 98, 2008, 2010, 2014, 15, 17, and 18. Rich history here, and that's only in football. I know of a great, you know, I believe Sterling Shepard, excuse me, he went here, attended high school here. So they've had notable players come from here and do big things.
Absolutely. Sterling Shepard, Barry Sanders Jr., most notable for me. Got to watch those guys play a little bit. They actually had a game on ESPN, one of the opening games of their senior year, and I got to check them out a little bit. Great atmosphere.
Yeah, and, you know, John Marshall, I got a scrimmage against guys like Devontae Lee, Justin Broyles. So it's good to see those guys doing good things in the college ranks. As John Marshall here, they're going to do a little toss to number 5, Guilford, and he's going to be lucky to gain about 2 yards on that play. It's going to set up about a 4th and 15, 19 seconds left in the second quarter. Heritage Hall forces a punt from John Marshall. So
I mean, you called it, DB, and I'm pretty sure you're on point with that mindset, too, trying to make it a 4-possession game, make it a little more out of reach as they come out and get the ball, John Marshall, for halftime. Just makes it easier to defend, get the ball back, and make it a 5-score game.
And this is something that, you know, if you're John Marshall, you cannot let them score here. This would be a demoralizing score. You're already down 22-0, and if you give up a score here with 19 seconds or whatever's going to be left on the clock when that score happens, it's something that may not have the best effect and linger into the second half.
Right, but the defense has really been the anchor for this team. I mean, they forced about 3 or 4 fourth downs to the Heritage Hall Chargers. Got to stop on one of those.
And it's just something that Heritage Hall, they've been very disciplined all game, and it shows in the scoreboard. The more disciplined team has been winning this game, and that's usually the case in football.
Exactly.
As we'll see John Marshall here in their punt formation. We're going to have Ori Walker back to return the punt for Heritage Hall. We've got a better punt.
The best punt of the night, if you ask me, DB.
And that one's going to get downed, or excuse me, bounce backwards, out of bounds at about the John Marshall 44-yard line.
So, again, Chargers are starting in John Marshall territory.
12 seconds. Yep, excuse me. Sorry about that, but 12 seconds left.
Hey, Jinx, DB, you owe me a Coke.
Hey, you got me. Hey, best believe we see a slug bug around here. You getting slugged.
Lucky you. You get to see that side road over there. There's plenty of cars driving down there. You got me.
As Heritage Hall, 12 seconds left in this first half. Bass in the shotgun, running back to his left. He's got trips to the left, single receiver to the right. He looks for Ori Walker again. What
One
a
hand catch along the sideline.
What a catch by Ori Walker. 6 seconds left in this first half, and they've got a chemistry that looks like Goff to Cup.
And chemistry is exactly what it is.
McNabb to Owens. It looks something like that.
Taking us back there, man. It's a Super Bowl matchup right there.
Man.
But great job by the quarterback, Andy Bass, getting it to Ori Walker. Great job snagging it in one-handed.
And I'm going to be honest, he looked at him the whole way.
The whole entire time. He knew where he was going.
He knew where he was going with that ball. They've been going to that single receiver side where he's been lining up at and just really abusing that side. Right now they're going to even that receiver set up.
He's actually
2x2
size. Let's look for the field side.
2x2 receiver set, quarterback in the pistol, low snap. He's still going to get it off. He looks for Ori Walker, and it's through the hands of number 1 on John Marshall, Dorian Middleton. He had a chance for an interception.
Great job by Dorian Middleton. I mean, he's just one more little squeeze on that football from picking that off.
And that's going to be it for the first half. Heritage Hall 22, John Marshall 0. We'll be back with you in a few moments.
Oklahoma City, I'm Miles Perry, and I want you to tune into my show, Super Prep Live.
Super Prep Live takes an in-depth look at the Oklahoma high school student athlete and what makes he or she become great at what they do. Super Prep Live can be heard on OKC'S CBS Sports Radio 105.3 and Instagram Live.
Make sure you tune in and learn about the next great student athlete on Super Prep Live with me, Miles Perry.
Injuries don't wait. For business hours, now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or a broken bone, at the SSM Health Bone and Joint Injury Clinic at 13401 Northwestern. Injuries don't wait. For business hours, now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or a broken bone, at the SSM Health Bone and Joint Injury Clinic at 13401 Northwestern.
Oklahoma City, I'm Miles Perry, and I want you to tune into my show, Super Prep Live.
Super Prep Live takes an in-depth look at the Oklahoma high school student athlete and what makes he or she become great at what they do. Super Prep Live can be heard on OKC'S CBS Sports Radio 105.3 and Instagram Live.
Make sure you tune in and learn about the next great student athlete on Super Prep Live with me, Miles Perry.
Welcome back. About 3 minutes until we get second half kickoff. 22-0 Heritage Hall over John Marshall, and those horses are in the back. But it's halftime. We got a couple halftime sponsors, man. Jamin, why don't you read that first one for us?
Man, let's give a shout out to Langston University. If you've ever considered becoming a nurse or a physical therapist, you should enroll today at Langston University. LU is one of the leading state universities in producing nurses and physical therapists. Learn more by going online to langston.edu. Again, go online to langston.edu.
And I'll tell you what, man, I know a coach up at Langston, Coach Kevin Griffin, man. He's a good guy. Coaches the linebackers and
Coach Kevin recruited me, man. He gave me 2 offers from 2 different schools.
Hey,
man.
Bethel and what was the other one? He was at
Bethel and what was it? He was at Bethany, Kansas for
okay,
a hot
yeah,
minute.
he was, okay. And our last, I should say our second, but not least, ad of the halftime show, Concino di Mino. For the best in Mexican cuisine, the only place to have lunch or dinner is Concino de Mino, located at 6022 Southwestern Avenue, open Monday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. Again, that's Concino di Mino on 6022 Southwestern Ave, open Monday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. And wow, pretty good first half, I'd say. Even for the John Marshall Bears, I know they don't have a point on the board, but they've got to be happy with how they played in spurts.
Yep, they've definitely had a lot of pluses. We had one big play. We've been great running on the ground. We've got one stop already on defense, and we're only down 22 points.
Yeah, and you think about some of the plays that Heritage Hall had. They had that big explosive to Ori Walker, the last touchdown they had, and really other than that, they've had to earn everything.
They really had. They've had to be physical in every level of the field. They've had some penalty problems themselves, but they've seemed to pull themselves out of it. They haven't gotten a huge hole just because John Marshall hasn't got on the board yet, but believe it's coming if they don't continue to stay disciplined.
We're about a minute away from Heritage Hall and John Marshall kicking off the second half, man, and it's something that we're looking forward to. Get to see if Bass stays hot, see if he can get it to Ori Walker some more, if they get other people involved on that offense. We'll see if Terrence Caldwell, who was quarterbacking John Marshall this evening, see if he plays a little bit better. Not that he played bad, but he had some plays. We'll see if he can have a few more explosive plays.
And they already have a lot of variations, a lot of formations, a lot of different personnel, so we could see Davian Taylor just as easy as we could see Terrence Caldwell going out there at quarterback. So expect to see both of them, but we've already seen a lot of Terrence.
I'd agree. Davian Taylor, a guy that he had been the quarterback through the first 2 games of this season, but they go with a change tonight. Not sure what that was about, but at the same time, it hasn't really been too bad. They've really just hurt themselves with the big turnover that was scooped and scored by number 20, Rashad Smith, the big man rumbling and stumbling his way to a touchdown. That and the Ori Walker, 2 big plays, and that's 15 points as they went for 2 on the Rashad Smith scoop and score. So you look at that, it could still easily be 7-0 Heritage Hall.
Right, just protecting the football is very vital. You got a hungry group of guys coming in. I mean, they play playoffs every single year, the Heritage Hall Chargers. Great experience. I mean, they're well coached by Coach Brett Boger, so expect them to come out here and continue to be aggressive. Andy Bass has had a great game. Let's look to see them continue what they're doing.
And it looks like they added a minute and a half or so back onto the clock. Excuse me, as my papers go flying here, as you heard me say.
It's the wind, DB. We're fighting the wind.
We are fighting the elements here, but I digress. We're going to look around with some of the different action throughout the state tonight in high school football, as I'm waiting here on my Squirtle app to kind of reboot itself. Technology is not always so kind, as Ada over Durant right now, 21-0. Wagner up 14-7 against Grove. Davis over Wynnewood, 28-22. You know, we got some games all across the state. We're going to take a look at some 5A action across the state tonight. Edison over Catoosa 14-0. Elgin over Weatherford 21-10. Hey, Southeast, a team that me and Jamin are very used to calling. They're up 60-0 against U.S. Grant.
Hey, SEC, my boy.
SEC.
Southeast champions. Way to play like Southeast champions.
And, you know, it's a shout out. We really appreciate that group right there. Coach Matt Walsh. Believe that was
Coach Lane.
Coach Lane. Excuse me. Matt Walsh is somebody else. That's a political commentator. I got my wires crossed. Who you with? As you can see.
They better cut some lyrics on DB because I might freestyle 40 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, 40 seconds until the second half gets kicked underway. As we look at some 6A1 scores from around the state, Edmond Memorial 14-6 against Southmore. Stillwater up on Norman 21-19. Mustang up 20-7 against Springdale Harbor of Arkansas. Yukon up against Norman North 21-10. And Enid, beat Edmond North 34-17.
I mean, Norman, only 3-point game with Stillwater is the #1 seed.
That is a crazy one indeed. Midwest City up 30-0 on Putnam City North. Tahlequah up 28-13 on Sallisaw. Star Spencer 22, Capitol Hill 8. Stillwater 21, Norman 19, as we said. Lawton up 14-3 against Eisenhower. 27-0 Sand Springs over Ponca City. Collinsville 14, Bartlesville 7, and Northwest Class in 14, Class in SAS 12. So those are some scores from around the state as we get set here for second half kickoff.
Hey, I'm smelling that food again. It smells like some pork.
They might have some brisket out here. Who knows, man?
Hey, they need to come bring us a plate.
I would very much appreciate that, honestly.
There's some hospitality. It's a lot of wind going on, you know, just a little something.
Something to make up for the wind, I guess.
You know.
Maybe a few $100 too. I'll take that.
Hey, I'll take that any day, DB. Especially for this right here. What a night. What would you rather be doing, DB?
Nothing. Watching football and getting some bread on the side for it.
I mean, just think about it. It's like public versus private. I mean, for some Oklahomans that love movie watching, it's like we got the socials and then we got the greasers going on.
No doubt. As someone that went to a public school and public school all day. But I guess I'm a little biased in that regard. But you know who's not going to be biased is Cooper Counts as he kicks this ball off here in a few moments.
He's already had a couple touchbacks.
Yep, that leg has been a feature tonight. I think two touchbacks. You're right on that. As I said, we get ready to get the third quarter underway as Counts kicks this one deep.
And we get another one.
Another touchback. Sails over the head of Dorian Middleton.
The wind has been playing in his favor tonight.
It helps when you're kicking with the wind at your back, no doubt. But still, I got to be able to kick the ball good.
A couple PATs, too.
And no doubt, have not had any hiccups there. As we see John Marshall on the field again, we'll see what kind of approach they're going to have. Do they stick with what they've been doing, or do they change it up? Change it up a little bit.
I expect them to change it up a little bit, continue to bring in the motion. I've seen that kind of die down as that first half died down. We want to keep bringing that in, bring guys in motion to freeze the defense, keep them guessing.
And John Marshall going to hand it off to number 5, Guilford. So it looks like a little bit more of the same strategy.
Yep, he's still churning it. I mean, big body guy. He's got a lot of yards. He's leaning, getting extra yards after the contact. You love to see that from your running back.
As you see, number 6, the quarterback, Terrence Caldwell, out there looking at the coach, looking for the signals.
We look to see him be a little more calm now. He's going into the second half. It's not as tough as it is going into that first half, not knowing if you're going to play quarterback or stick to your regular responsibilities.
And it looks like he's communicating the call with his teammates here, the big boys up front. About 15 seconds on that play clock. 2nd and 10. Caldwell's going to get the snap, looks to his left. He's going to fire. That's going to be caught by number 1, Dorian Middleton, over the middle. It's going to be a first down. That first down brought to you by Big O's Pork and Dreams.
I mean, great throw, great catch, good spiral against this wind. Like I was mentioning earlier, I think they should just nick and dime down the field. I feel like that would be a good strategy, and we see it come into play there.
You see the passing game, you know, this is something that we haven't seen a whole lot of with Terrence Caldwell, but he looks more than capable as we get set for a 1st and 10 from John Marshall's own 31-yard line. It's going to be a handoff from Caldwell to Guilford, and Guilford making things happen. Physical run there for number 5, Guilford.
Yeah, it's a great job coming through to attack the run right after that. It looks like we're going to get some momentum on this drive.
Yep, it's going to set up about 2nd and 6 from about the John Marshall, we'll call it the 36-yard line. Terrence Caldwell in the shotgun with Guilford to his right. Single receiver to the right, that's Mikael Walker. And the single receiver to the left as well. Snap to Caldwell. He's going to hand it off to Guilford. Guilford's going to run into the back of his own lineman. He's going to run out to the right, and he almost gets the 1st down.
I mean, again, just to speak on his intangibles, I mean, just great job turning those feet. Don't keep them from moving. You run into your line, and your feet don't stop, which allows you to bounce off and get a second chance to get some positive yards.
And it's going to set up 3rd and 1 as that was a gain of 5 there for Guilford. 9:45 and ticking. Ball on John Marshall's own 41. This is a big 3rd down here on the opening drive for them. Caldwell, the quarterback. Bad snap again. He's going to fall on it, though. Another snap where you've got to get that ball up. A clutch situation that you cannot have that snap, roll back there, and it does. Almost disastrous again. As that's going to send up 4th and 4.
We're just getting antsy on that line. We got to calm them down, especially on a big 3rd down like that. I mean, you got to get a good snap to your quarterback.
So as I said, it's going to be 4th and 4 from John Marshall's own 38-yard line. We'll see it. Do they punt it? Do they go for it? As they've got Caldwell back in the shotgun. Guilford to his right. Twins receivers to the right. Oh, he runs into his own running back, and he's going to toss it to number 3. Ori Walker with a big hit on number 3, Jeremy Rideau. And there's going to be a flag. He looked like he looked at him a little too menacing, and they're going to call that in Oklahoma.
Those extracurriculars, they're going to cost you, buddy.
Hey, if you stare at a guy, you could assault him, so it's a flag.
Hey, I've done that too, and as soon as I got the big hit, I looked and I said, what's going on? You still over the guy too long, man.
You can't take the fun out of the game. I know we're calling it for John Marshall, but you're taking the emotion, taking the fun out of the game. Trash talk is a part of the game. It is what it is.
Student section's getting a little more hype now as cheerleaders are interacting with the stands.
What are they throwing, balls or those
hey,
shirts?
can we get one up here? See if one of those cheerleaders got on.
One of those sailed over the stadium. Big arm by one of those cheerleaders. Looked like Peyton Manning in 2004.
Airing it out, man. Airing it out. He's a field general.
Yeah, they've got plenty of money at this school. They are tossing footballs over the stadium.
I mean, I just want one to take home. I need a souvenir.
They have plenty of money at this school, tossing lots of footballs into the crowd.
Yeah, I got to prove I was here. I know somebody. Just toss the bucket. And
there's going to be a timeout. It's going to be a timeout for Heritage Hall. Nope, excuse me, for John Marshall. They're going to want to talk this one over. 8:49 left in the 3rd quarter. We'll be back right after this. And we are back. 3rd quarter. Devin Bajik and Jamin Dawson here on the call. Heritage Hall up 22-0 over John Marshall. Heritage Hall 2nd and 10? No, excuse me, 1st and 10. Bass with the snap and the pistol. Fakes the handoff, going to toss it to number 13 out on the edge. 50, makes a guy miss. Tackled at the, he's going to carry a guy to the John Marshall 40-yard line. That's going to be a 1st down. Throw and catch from Bass to Burton. Liam Burton on the catch and run.
Great job finding an open man And when you get to that position, I mean, it's mano y mano. You got to come break down and make that tackle.
We see that a lot in the NFL with Deebo Samuel. They get him on the edge and just make him let him get loose. Best athlete gets the ball. It's going to be another play like that. Bass going to scramble off to his left after the play fake, and he's going to throw that one into the crowd almost.
Smart play to just get the ball out, but I wonder if he saw number 44 cutting up that field, Cooper Cookson. It looks like he was about to break open.
Cooper Cookson cooking something up. We do not know. We'll see if they try to take advantage of that, what you might have saw there. 8:18 left in the third quarter, 2nd and 10. Ball on John Marshall's 40-yard line as Heritage Hall driving into their territory.
We get some substitutions here.
See Cooper Cookson in the slot right here. Watch out for him as Bass in the shotgun, running back to his right, H-back to his left. And he's going to hand it off to that Jackson Carter, I believe. And he's going to stiff arm a guy, but a gain about 1 yard. Jackson Carter on the run.
One of the few direct handoffs we've seen from the Chargers tonight.
Looks like he had a little bit of a midline option right there. Looks like he was reading the D tackle.
Yes, sir.
As we see Bass really taking control of the offense in the shotgun. Running back to his left, H-back to his right. He's got Ori Walker to his left. Twins receivers to the right, and they got a little bit of movement before the snap. That's number 11, Zach Fetro. And he slaps himself in the helmet. He's not happy with himself, but hey, keep your head up.
Hey, you got to be your best critic, but more than that, you got to have a quick memory on that football field. Let's ditch it. Let's get the offensive play off.
So that's going to make 3rd and 9, 3rd and 14 for the Heritage Hall Chargers. 7:43 left in the third quarter. This is kind of the recipe to get back in this game for John Marshall. Force 3rd and longs. Get the ball back.
If it's down in distance, man, we'll get a pass.
Exactly. Bass in the pistol.
Let's look for Ori Walker split out.
It's going to be a play action. He fires it deep. He's got Ori Walker. Looks like number 13, McKeel Jackson had a little bit of a jersey tug, but ref's going to let him play. Ref's going to let him play. We hear certain people in the crowd asking for a flag. The ref does not oblige, but there is a different flag on the field. Looks like that could be holding on the offense. We'll see.
Great job defending that. Number 2
is going to be holding. Sorry to cut you off, but it is going to be holding on that offense. Penalties decline, 4th and 14.
No, it's all good, man. I mean, you hate to see that for the offense. Ori Walker's trying to break and get into that seam, but defender's right on his heels, number 13.
You know, Ori Walker was –
Jackson.
He had it. I'm going to be honest. It looked like McHale had a little bit of that jersey. Not a little bit, a lot of it, and whatever.
Hey, a little pass on the call ain't going to hurt nothing, man.
Hey,
they got to take what they can get.
They need a little bit of it as Bass in the pistol here, running back behind him. It's going to be another pass play. He steps back to pass, and he's going to be met by a host of Bears. The whole defensive line is back there. What a sack. Number 20 I saw get in on that. Najion Blackburn. Number 56, Alante Benford.
Saw number 32, Sean Powell, get in there too.
Just a host of Bears back there, and that's what you want to see as you haven't scored a touchdown yet today. You're looking to get some positive points on the board.
You want to see the Bears maul those Chargers. I mean, quarterbacks 1, 2, 3. I mean, time is giving up in that pocket. You got to let it go, and John Marshall handles business.
John Marshall, 1st and 10 from their own 49-yard line. Best field position they've had all day.
I agree.
Terrence Caldwell in the shotgun. Guilford off to his left. He's looking to his right. Fires it to number 1, Dorian Middleton. He makes a man miss. And he's going to get to about where he made the guy miss. 4-yard gain, 3-yard gain or so.
Great job by Dorian Middleton running to the ball. I feel like running to the ball, attacking it at its highest point, helps him evade that first defender on his heels.
He really snagged that one out of the air and got up the field real fast. 7 minutes and ticking left in this third quarter. 22-0 Heritage Hall over the John Marshall Bears. 2nd and 6 on Heritage Hall's 47-yard line. Caldwell in the shotgun. Guilford to his right. 2 receivers to his right as well in the shotgun formation. It's going to be a handoff to Guilford to the left side. 45, and he's going to run into 2 Heritage Hall Chargers and fall forward as he always seems to do.
Very manageable 3rd down. You'll think they'll stick to that running attack. He gets a great punch. And again, contact comes, he's still churning.
Yep, he has always fallen forward tonight. As it's going to set up a 3rd and 1 for John Marshall. Maybe the biggest 3rd and 1 of the game so far. And that's going to set up maybe a Big O's Pork and Dreams 1st down for John Marshall if they can get a yard. with 6:10 and ticking left here. Caldwell in the shotgun. Guilford to his left. It's going to be a handoff, or excuse me, it's going to be a direct snap to Caldwell.
Design quarterback run. Great job getting outside for the first down. Get a fresh set of downs.
Yep, and you know they've ran that a few times tonight. They've ran different things off of that and worked to success there, as that's a Big O's Pork and Dreams first down. As it's going to be 1st and 10, John Marshall at the Chargers 39-yard line, third quarter, 5:44 left and ticking. This is a 22-0 ball game for the Chargers. Lante Crawford in the shotgun. Guilford split to his left. Single receivers to the left and right. Caldwell looks to his right. He throws it deep to 13. McHale. Ooh, what a play by number 88. He high pointed the ball and met number 13. Mikael Jackson there.
Great play by Gerard Williams. Quarterback was feeling pressure immediately. Terrence Caldwell, he feels the pressure coming from the right side. As soon as he gets the snap, he gets 1 second to see a receiver, and he lets it go.
Not a bad ball there. Honestly, it was just mano-y-mano play. I'm better than you.
Mano-y-mano play. That's what you love to see split out there. Those one-on-ones, those are the big plays come from. And we get number 2 split out there now.
Wish we had a name on him, but I digress. John Marshall's quarterback, Caldwell, gives the handoff to Guilford. Guilford met before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Kind of an awkward way to get tackled there.
Maybe swallowed there by number 55, Xavier Freeman. All Vipe 100 player.
Hey, you like to have those guys on your defense, I'll tell you that. They make a difference.
Hey, I can see what the Vipe people see. I mean, his speed off the snap. I mean, relentless tackling. Just a great job.
3rd and 11 here for John Marshall. 3rd and 12. Ball on the Chargers 41 with about 4:52 left in this third quarter. Caldwell looking for something on this 3rd and 12. We'll see what they do here, what they call. Shotgun. He looks to his left. He evades pressure, but he's met by some Chargers. That's going to be number 72 for the Heritage Hall Chargers. That's going to be Charlie Ganiabadi.
I mean, the defense was coming so fast. It looks like we had 2 Heritage Hall defenders coming from the edges run into themselves as the quarterback stepped into the pocket.
Yeah, big play by Charlie Ganiabadi. There's a lot of pressure there by the defense.
A lot of pressure. As we see the injured player getting up, walking off.
That's number 4 for the Heritage Hall Chargers, Jordan Harris. As we see, he's all right. Maybe that's a wrist injury, but he looks okay.
A great step by Jordan Harris. Nobody caught a touchdown on him last year.
Nobody caught a touchdown on number 4.
That's the best compliment you can get as a cornerback.
Well, if I was John Marshall, you know where I'm throwing it at? If number 4 is off the field, I'm throwing it to that guy who's replacing him. It looks like he's going to stay on the field. The injury wasn't all that too big. But, I mean, shoot, there looks like they're punting it. They're not going to go for it here. It's 4th and 14. Probably not a high likelihood of converting this.
Not very likely, but again, best field position we've got all night. So we want to keep that good field position. Hopefully the defense can have a good possession.
Good snap here. Kick gets off. And that's going to get to the, it's going to bounce backwards to the Chargers' own 27-yard line. So Heritage Hall with about 4 minutes and 13 seconds left will look to get this lead bigger. 22-0, Heritage Hall over the John Marshall Bears.
And again, the defense hasn't pinned on the 27. This is good field position for the defense. They've already made a stop tonight on 4th down. Let's see if we can force another one here.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to hurry up and get ready to the line. They want to score some points. As we see Bass and the pistol. 2 receivers to his right, single receiver to the left. Bass. Oh, he's going to get a John Marshall Bear to jump off sides. That's number 20, Najion Blackburn. Yep, the sophomore, young player. And it's something as he's lining up at the edge. You know, you got to watch that ball. Watch the lineman in front of you. You can't rely on that quarterback's voice. Trick you every time.
Especially when you get field position like this, you got to play your most disciplined football.
It's gonna set up a 1st and 5 for the Heritage Hall Chargers. Handoff from Bass to number 26,
Great job by
Or
number 6 for
25,
the Bears.
excuse me, 25, Barrett Travis.
Excuse me, I don't mean to talk over you, DB.
No, you good.
Great job by number 6, Terrence Caldwell, coming through. It looks like he was anticipating the run. Great job getting through his gap, staying put, staying firm for the tackle.
It's going to set up a 2nd and 3 for the Chargers here from their own 34-yard line. Bass in the pistol. Looks like he's still got Travis as his running back. Trips receivers to the right.
Defense still trying to get set.
Straight snap to the quarterback. Bass going to take that 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Heritage Hall scores.
And it looks like a design run. I mean, he got the snap, just cut straight up the field.
Andy Bass.
That offensive line for the Chargers, I mean, just split that wide as the Red Sea as he takes off.
Where's Nicki Minaj? That super bass, bro. He's gone. For a tutty.
Easy tutty, man. He took that, and he had to show the Jets, man. He took off.
It's 28-0 Heritage Hall over the John Marshall Bears. They have the swinging gate set up. They're going to motion in for a regular kick, so we're going to get a 1-point attempt. They've done it a few times. Good to put that on film. Get people to have to prepare for it. As Counts with the kick. He's going to make that, split the uprights. It's 29-0. 3:28 left in the third quarter. Heritage Hall 29, John Marshall 0. We'll be right back.
Perry, and I want you to tune into my show, Super Prep Live.
Super Prep Live takes an in-depth look at the Oklahoma high school student athlete and what makes he or she become great at what they do. Super Prep Live can be heard on OKC'S CBS Sports Radio 105.3 and Instagram Live.
Make sure you tune in and learn about the next great student athlete on Super Prep Live with me, Miles Perry.
Welcome back. 3:28 left in the third quarter. Heritage Hall over the John Marshall Bears 29-0. As that scoring recap brought to you by KYZ Life-Changing Bar. Man, Jamin, he got out of there.
Man, shot out of there like a rocket, man. It looked like a design run. Great job, everybody picking up their blocks from the O-line to receivers and other skill players on the team. Just great execution. They're trying to put it out of reach.
And that's going to be something that's a little demoralizing. Not a little. Definitely going to be demoralizing.
Yeah, a long quarterback run like that, man, nah.
Especially it was a direct snap, and he just went out the gate like Usain Bolt in 2012. Or insert whatever year he ran. Every year he seems to break records.
Insert year right now. Post-retirement.
As Counts back to kick. And that one's going to be a little bit higher than what we're used to. He's been booting them back for touchbacks. That's going to be taken by number 1, Middleton. He's going to get to
Great
John
tackle.
Marshall's own 19-yard line. And, yeah, it was a good tackle.
Number 4, Jordan Harris. Great tackler, as well as a defender on the edge, as he's letting it all out.
John Marshall, man, they just want to get some points on the board. That's honestly got to be the message. Hey, guys, let's rally together for ourselves. Let's get some points on the board.
Hey, we've been in the red zone before, DB. You can't tell me we can't do it again. I want to see us get in the red zone.
No doubt.
I want to see us capitalize on Heritage Hall's mistakes because they actually had offsides on that last defensive possession for him.
Heritage Hall has definitely had some mistakes. They have not. John Marshall has not been able to capitalize. We'll see what happens here. The snap to Caldwell. Caldwell's going to take it to the left. He's going to break a tackle and get met by a few Chargers. Going to gain about 5 or 6 on the play. We'll wait for official confirmation. What'd you see on that one?
Just see another. Looks like it doesn't look designed. Maybe an option, but great job by the quarterback just getting out of there. If he doesn't like what he sees, just get positive yards because he's not comfortable at the quarterback position. We want to see him as comfortable as possible so when they get the opportunity to take those shots downfield, he's poised and ready to make a good throw.
As John Marshall here waiting for the snap. Caldwell is. He gets it. He's going to run it to the left again. And he's going to break a tackle and get pushed out of bounds after about a, we'll call it 7 or 8 yard gain. And that's going to get the sticks moving for a Big O's Pork and Dreams first down.
Definitely a design run there. Good job out of offensive line, blocking receivers, holding them too. Getting good chunks of yards. 5-6 plays. I mean, 5-6 yards, excuse me.
No doubt, man. And Big O's Pork and Dreams first down. Best barbecue in Oklahoma City. That's Big O's Pork and Dreams. As we see Caldwell here in the shotgun. Guilford to his right. It's a little pitch to Guilford. I like that play design, you know. I didn't hate it.
No, I do like it. I mean,
get the ball to your playmaker in space. Guilford, kind of just toss it to him, let him do something. They gain 3 yards.
Yep, Shaz Guilford continuing a great run attack.
Going to set up 2nd and 7. John Marshall on their own 37-yard line with 1:47 and ticking in this 29-0 ball game. John Marshall trying to get their first points of the night. Caldwell in the shotgun. Looks like we had a little bit of pre-snap movement, but they didn't call it, and Caldwell gets leveled.
Yep, he's bobbling another snap, but number 13 for the Chargers, he's taking no mercy on him, Liam Burton.
And it looks like we had the 2 H-backs for John Marshall move before the snap. Not sure if the officials saw that, if they just saw it late, but regardless, going to set up 3rd and 7. Ball on John Marshall's own 37 here, 1:35 left in the 3rd quarter.
And I like how they're using the H-backs, moving them around, but I'd love to see 2 in that backfield just to set up a more established run.
As Caldwell in the shotgun, Guilford to his left. Twins receivers to the left. They're going to roll out to the left.
Liam Burton's coming off that edge.
Ooh, Liam Burton looked like a bat out of hell.
He doesn't get the sack, but he gets his hands on Terrence Caldwell. Another empty down.
As we
Another
see
4th down.
Ori Walker step in as the punt returner. See if he can get loose. Maybe we'll see, Devin Hester, right? We're not going to see that again, but, maybe he can beat Jacob Hester. He used to play at LSU back in the day.
Jacob Hester, man, I'm going to have to do my homework now, DB.
Hey,
took me to school.
All those old Madden games they used to play, they come in handy when you're just thinking of random guys that were okay, that were good.
You can see I got smoked in Madden. You can see I played with the same team.
I am a Bears fan, so, it wasn't always good to use those teams. As I digress, the John Marshall Bears kick this one to Ori Walker. Ori Walker, he's going to muff the punt. That's exactly what John Marshall needs. Woo! John Marshall, that's what they needed. And Ori Walker might be hurt. He's down. Slow to get up, but big play for John Marshall. They could get some points on the board here.
Like you said, those invisible points, they come in on special teams. Great job by the special teams unit, closing in on the returner, getting him to fumble the ball and recovering as well. Hopefully Ori Walker's out there all right. He's getting up a little slow.
I had a coach that sometimes would ask me after bad plays, I might have gotten hurt. He'd be like, are you actually hurt or is it your ego, your pride? He seems to be okay, though, as he's limping. So I'd say that's a legit injury. That wasn't the best coach I had, obviously. You want your coach to believe you're injured when you're injured. Hopefully Ori Walker is okay, I should say.
Yes, sir, man. I've even had a coach, man, when I needed a breather, he said fall down, and I just let one leg unlock, and there I was on the ground.
They had me looking like, where's Andy? And I just fell to the ground like I was a toy.
I looked like a war casualty, man. Just dropped straight down, man.
Sniper. That's what coaches would say if, you fall down. But what we're saying right now is it's the 1st and 10 for John Marshall. Caldwell in the shotgun. Guilford to his right. He's got Middleton and Jackson at receiver. He looks to his left, looks to his right. He's going to fire this one to Mikael Jackson, and just really ran out of real estate as Mikael Jackson looks like he's motioning, looking in at, trying to communicate with his quarterback, telling him, hey, I need to throw that ball further down the field, as he's very slow to get to the huddle walking.
Right, the play just leads out of bounds. We did get a great snap from the center, though, so great job making these improvements
Good
throughout
snap.
the game.
Didn't hate the ball. Maybe it could have been placed a little bit farther and let him out there, but, it happens. It's a little windy. That ball might have been pushed.
It's windy, and we live and we learn, DB. We're talking about a guy that doesn't eat, sleep, and breathe quarterback. He's just a pure athlete, so he's going out there doing what he has to do for his team.
And then the shotgun, Guilford to his right. It's a handoff, and looks like it's going to be picked up by the Heritage Hall defenders. No. Yes, it is. Number 13, Liam Burton. What a play. I wasn't sure if they were going to rule him down. If it looked like they had a little bit of a problem there between Chaz Guilford and Terrence Caldwell on the QB running back exchange. And just like we've been talking about throughout the game, John Marshall can't get out of their own way.
Yeah, can't get out of the way. Good play, 52 for the Chargers. Jack Harris coming through for that big hit, get that ball out. Just another fumble snap.
And we've seen that 3 or 4 times tonight, just at the worst times, literally.
3 or 4 too many, DB. It's a real shot in the foot.
Super base in the at quarterback in the pistol. He's going to run the read option. He's going to go 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Anthony Super Bass.
I mean, and who's going to stop him, man? Who's going to stop him? He takes off. He's shaking some defenders. He's doing a lot of change of direction just to get off of those defenders. And then he puts on the Jets again for another touchdown.
That boy fast. That's all I'll say about that. It's 35-0. Heritage Hall is up. 54 seconds left in the third quarter, and that was fast.
And he's coming to the sideline hitting that Chef Curry shrug, man. He's like, who's going to do something to me?
Speaking of celebrations, you know, I was at the UCO game last week, and all these little kids were telling these players to hit the gritty, bro. I guess that's every little kid's dance, huh, the gritty.
Hey, man, I haven't hit it yet. I need to go to the game so those kids can give me a tutorial.
I was told if I was seen grittying anywhere near a school, anywhere near public area, I'm arrested on site.
Man, the gritty, why are they criticizing your gritty that bad?
I'm better at other dances.
Hey, man, that's all good. Keep it coming, man.
But it's 36-0. Heritage Hall up on John Marshall. 54 seconds left in the third quarter. We'll be right back in a few moments.
Injuries don't wait. For business hours, now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or a broken bone, at the SSM Health Bone and Joint Injury Clinic at 13401 Northwestern. Injuries don't wait.
Welcome back. Devin Bajik and Jamin Dawson here. Heritage Hall up 36-0 over the John Marshall Bears as counts on the kickoff here for Heritage Hall. Big boot, number 1 Middleton for John Marshall. Doesn't even bother to worry about running back and getting that one.
He's back to his touchbacking ways, man.
And we'll recap that scoring drive. It was one play, the KYZ life-changing bar. Anthony Bass took that one to the house. Super Bass by Nicki Minaj. That one might be his theme song tonight.
Hey, man, Anthony Bass leaving him in the grass, bro. They reaching and trying to get him, but he putting on the Jets, and when they try to hit him, he's showing them that strength.
As we see, you know, Ori Walker, he's on the sideline. He looks in good spirits. Looks like he's holding his hip or hamstring, but
good to see him standing under his own power walking, though.
As John Marshall, another low snap. And it's going to get fallen on by number 4 for John Marshall, Rideau. And got to get the snap back there. Is that number 50? Number 50 for John Marshall. We've got 30 seconds left in the third quarter. It's going to be 2nd and 18 for the John Marshall Bears. As we've got Caldwell in the shotgun. He's got the running back to his right, 2 receivers to the right. Ball goes over his head, and that's going to get fallen on in the end zone by number 25 for Heritage Hall, Barrett Travis. Touchdown, Heritage Hall.
We've got a safety. It's the one thing I feared.
Touchdown.
Oh, it's a touchdown. Excuse me. So one thing I feared was another bad snap pinned inside that 10.
And that's going to make it 42-0. Heritage Hall up on the John Marshall Bears with 9 seconds left in the third quarter as we await the extra point or the 2-point conversion as Heritage Hall lines up in the swinging gate. Another bad snap, really a microcosm of everything we've seen tonight in one play. As the swinging gate, they're going to motion back into the regular field goal formation. Waiting the extra point as Cooper counts, waiting the snap. And snap is good, kick is up, and it's good too. It's going to be 43-0, still in the third quarter, 9 seconds left. Heritage Hall over John Marshall.
Oklahoma City, I'm Miles Perry, and I want you to tune into my show, Super Prep.
An in-depth look at the Oklahoma high school student athlete and what makes he or she become great at what they do. Super Prep Live can be heard on OKC's CBS Sports Radio 105.3 and Instagram Live.
Make sure you tune in and learn about the next great student athlete on Super Prep Live with me, Miles Perry.
Hello and welcome back. Devin Bajek and Jamin Dawson on the call here. John Marshall Bears, their trail 43-0.
Yeah, man. We're seeing a lot of Chargers action, man. Carter counts, punches in that extra point. He counts another one to his total.
Yeah, we got another KYZ life-changing bar scoring recap. And on that play, we had two straight John Marshall bad snaps, and the second one leads to a touchdown in the end zone by number 25, Barrett Travis.
Yeah, the offensive line has got to settle down. They got to at least put some of those fundamental things into practice before this game is over because, I mean, that's going to be the death of this offense if we can't get good snaps off.
As Counts has a big boot on him.
I count another touchback.
I believe that's 4 or 5 tonight. As we are still not out of the third quarter, it's 43-0 Heritage Hall. 9 seconds left in the third quarter. John Marshall's going to get this ball from their own 20-yard line.
Their own 20 it is.
And we'll see what they can do. It's been a lot of negative here in the second half.
Yeah, like I'm saying, we've been living on that 20-yard line, 30-yard line. We got a good possession, but, again, we had that fumble, so got to get these snaps ready, protect the football at all costs.
As we see Caldwell in the shotgun, it's going to be a handoff to number 3, Davian Taylor, the guy who was originally slated to play quarterback tonight, and that's going to be the last play of the third quarter. We head into the fourth quarter. Heritage Hall 43, John Marshall nothing. We are back Devin Bajek and Jamin Dawson here with you today. In the fourth quarter, we've got Heritage Hall up 43-0 against the John Marshall Bears. We're getting ready to kick off this fourth quarter action. 2nd and 10 for John Marshall. In the shotgun, running back to his right. It's going to be a handoff to Guilford. Guilford's got a hole. He's got a hole to run through, and that's going to be 11 yards on that 11 or 12 yards, on that 2nd and 10. What'd you see there, Jamin?
I mean, just another strong, powerful one. Just another strong, powerful run. I sound like Elmer Fudd up here trying to say one. Shaz Gulliford coming through. Strong run, getting past that 3rd level. Easy first down. We want to see some more of those.
As we see the student section here in front of us doing some type of chant. That's cool.
Hey, we're standing right in front of the student section, man. We got some seniors leading the way. They got their own personal jerseys. It's pretty neat.
Love to see that, as John Marshall would love to see another Big O's Pork and Dreams first down. In the shotgun, another snap that rolls to number 6, Caldwell's feet. It's thrown to number 1, Middleton. Dorian Middleton off to the races, 40, 35. He gets tripped up and falls at about the 31-yard line, but a good catch and run for Dorian Middleton.
Yeah, great job by Dorian Middleton getting open, taking off an open field, evading defenders, getting a big play for these John Marshall Bears.
A huge play by Dorian Middleton. He really made something out of nothing there. Biggest explosive play we've seen tonight since the Mikael Jackson bomb in the second quarter, I believe.
I mean, Middleton's been making most of these plays on offense for the Bears. Am I wrong?
And another pass deep.
It's a little too deep.
Just overthrown. And you like to see the aggressiveness there. You know, we're down 43-0.
DB, I love the aggression. We're getting some good balls. That quarterback seems like he's finally dialed in. We're getting good snaps. Seems like everything is finally coming together for a scoring drive.
As we see this John Marshall Bear offense going to work here on 2nd and 10, 10:49 left in the fourth quarter. They are in Heritage Hall territory at their 32-yard line. Caldwell gets the snap in the shotgun. He looks to his right, fires it to Middleton. Middleton makes a man miss, makes another man miss. He's going to cut it up the field, and he's going to get tackled at about the 18, 19-yard line of Heritage Hall. What another big play by Middleton.
I mean, just quick screen, not quick screen, excuse me. Just quick route, gets the ball, showing off his speed, couple good cuts.
Hey, you see him, he made a couple guys miss, then cut it back into the middle of the field as this offense is going quick here. That was another big O's Pork and Dreams first down. Is bad snap, still caught it, Caldwell did, and he scrambles off to his right. I'm not sure if that was a design play.
Don't think a snap that high is a design, but he definitely jumped up to get it, and he's taking off. I mean, he's not questioning his speed at all, and his speed is killing the Chargers.
And John Marshall, speaking of the Chargers, they've got the ball on the Chargers' 15-yard line with less than 10 minutes left in this 43-0 drubbing so far of the Bears. As Caldwell in the shotgun, Guilford to his right. He's got an H-back to his left. Single receivers to the left and right. Caldwell looks to his left. He fires it to the left. Number 2. Oh, it's intercepted by number 17 of Heritage Hall. Boston Fuller. He's going to take it 25, 30. Make a man miss with the spin move. Get taken down at the Heritage Hall 34-yard line. Just when we think John Marshall has it going, Heritage Hall rips it away from him.
Yep, tackle by Creighton Sanderson.
What a play by Boston Fuller, man. A little bit of Boston Massacre right there.
I mean, the quarterback was out there looking for mysterious number 2 the whole time. We still don't have his name. It's a dangerous throw. Safety's coming over, so it's double coverage. Corner just jumps up and makes a great play on the ball.
You'd love to see that if you're a fan of Heritage Hall. You groan in agony if you're a fan of John Marshall tonight. Just a lot of self-inflicted wounds, mostly turnovers. We'll see what they do as the backup quarterback for this Heritage Hall team steps into the game. Believe that is number 18, Walker Nelson.
And we got a timeout so we can discuss the miscommunication.
Walker Nelson, the quarterback, wide receiver, DB, getting some quarterback reps at 5'8". Probably doesn't see a lot of those, but I digress. 9:31 left in the fourth quarter. Heritage Hall's got the ball on their own 34. We'll see what they do.
Look at Junior Walker Nelson on here, man.
It's
quarterback,
really
wide receiver, and DB.
Swiss Army knife got Taysom Hill out here.
Seems to be so.
honestly, you know, big number 7, not going to want to kind of spoil anything, but our Big O's Pork and Dreams and Super Prep player of the game, there's a few of those guys out there tonight that we might consider. Ori Walker, number 20, Rashad Smith. Maybe it's the quarterback, Andy Bass. It's only time will tell. 9 minutes and 30 seconds left in this fourth quarter. 43-0, Heritage Hall up on John Marshall.
Plenty of game left. One of those guys might make another big play and stand out.
And we see Nelson checks it. Walker Nelson at quarterback in the pistol. 2 receivers to the left, single receiver to the right for Nelson. And it's going to be a handoff, and he's met by a bunch of John Marshall Bears. Number 25, Barrett Travis, nowhere to go.
Yep, initial contact again by the sophomore. We've been calling his name a lot tonight. Nejion Blackburn on that initial tackle, and we had a couple more John Marshall Bears swarm for the tackle.
And Walker Nelson still going to be in that pistol set. Behind him is Barrett Travis, single receiver to the right, trips receivers to the left on 2nd and 10 from their own 34-yard line. Walker Nelson, play action pass, fires it off to a bubble screen to number 28, I believe. Hudson Ferris. He is also a quarterback wide receiver DB.
Great tackle, Jeremy Rideau, out there on the edge. Get some help from his guys out there. Good job initiating that contact.
And you see Heritage Hall playing a lot of freshmen right now. A lot of freshmen and sophomores on the field, getting them valuable game reps.
Valuable as they get into this 3rd down.
3rd and 9 here for Heritage Hall on their own 35-yard line in the fourth quarter. 8.5 minutes left in this one. The result is probably decided, but at the same time, you want to put good film out there. Walker Nelson in the pistol set, trips receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. He throws it to that right side, and that was a dangerous pass. Looks like he was either looking for number 9, Jackson Carter, or number 28, Hudson Ferris.
I think number 9 hit his hands, but we just want a cleaner throw there. But, I mean, great experience from the young quarterback getting that 3rd down. Not detrimental to Heritage Hall's success. Still 43-0 as they give the ball back to a hungry John Marshall team.
Yeah, we'll see if this John Marshall team can get out of their own way. They have not been able to tonight, but we'll see if that narrative is different.
They haven't quit, DB. They have not quit. They've been fighting all 4 quarters.
Numbers 30 for Heritage Hall, a late substitution, Klein Reuter on the punt for Heritage Hall. That one's going to land at about the John Marshall 39 and bounce to the John Marshall 32-yard line. So John Marshall, 1st and 10 when we get back. And this John Marshall team, they're just looking for positive yards. They're just trying to rally for next week, kind of put some good stuff on film to just kind of brag about, you know, hey, we got to do more of this stuff next week.
Right, and this is a good time to capitalize. I'm seeing big substitutions from Heritage Hall's front, defensive front. A couple subs at linebacker, DBs to remain the same.
As we see Caldwell in the shotgun, hands it to number 5. And looks like number 5 was tackled behind the line of scrimmage, but there was no whistle blowing the play dead. Number 5, Shaz Guilford. They're going to say he gained a yard. I'm pretty certain his knee was down in the backfield, but they're going to give it to him. John Marshall will get the positive yards in any way they can.
Again, you got to take what you can get, DB, especially now. We're trying to get some stuff on film. We just want to prove some stuff to ourselves at this point in the game to have some momentum going into next week.
It's going to be 2nd and 9, 7.5 minutes left in this fourth quarter. John Marshall, direct snap to Caldwell. Caldwell looking for somewhere to run. He's going to make a move, make a guy miss, and is going to take a couple chargers to bring him down to set up a 3rd and manageable on that 2nd and 9. It's going to be about 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 with 7:10 left in this fourth quarter.
And those substitutions are definitely going to play a factor now for this John Marshall offense as they attack the Heritage Hall defense. Seems like quarterback had a little more time to get free.
Number 16 for Heritage Hall, Alexander Roselle, a substitution running off the field. 3rd and 4 for John Marshall. Oh, handoff to Guilford, a very scary snap again, but Caldwell able to hold on to that. It's going to set up 4th and 1.
Right, not an ideal handoff, but great job to just get some type of yards, manageable 4th down. They've been great on the ground. Let's look for number 5 to get it again. Outstanding running by Shaz Guilford.
And they're going to keep the offense on the field. Why not? It's 43-0, 6 minutes and some change left in this one. As we see number 6, Terrence Caldwell with Guilford. It's going to be a handoff to Guilford. Guilford's going to get plenty. Looks like 5 or 6 yards. They're going to keep the chains moving. That's going to be a first down brought to you by Big O's Pork and Dream.
Great
Pork and
powerful
Dreams.
run. He's got a defender on his back. Takes him for a little ride. Great job by the offense.
And Big O Pork and Dreams is the best barbecue in Oklahoma City. If you haven't had the famous Fat Butt Spud, then you haven't lived life. Big O's Pork and Dreams has 2 locations to serve you with, a location in Edmond and Midwest City. Tell Big O that we sent you. 43-0 left in this fourth quarter. Heritage Hall up on John Marshall. Caldwell awaiting the snap for John Marshall. He's going to fire that one deep. A pretty ball, but it's going to maybe get taken by the wind.
I believe it was taken by the wind. The wind picked up just as that play was starting. He's trying to get that ball out there to his playmaker on the sideline, number 13 for those Bears, Mikael Jackson, who's made some plays.
And we've seen Mikael Jackson probably get targeted about 8 times tonight, you know.
Right, but like I mentioned from last year, along with Chaz Gilliford, along with Mikael Jackson, Dorian Middleton, I mean, they had big impacts on this game last year. About the same outcome, but trying to get some momentum.
Snap's a little high. Caldwell's going to just keep it himself. He's going to go 50, 45, make a man miss, cut it back. Going to get tackled at the Chargers' 37-yard line. What a play. Make something out of nothing.
Yep, great job to keep it. He shows great illusion as he moves throughout the defensive field, and just another great play. It's something that these John Marshall Bears have been needing all game.
Very, very athletic play. Very just heads-up play, honestly. Hey, I'll go do it myself. I'll call my own number. I'm an athlete for a reason. 5:10 left in this fourth quarter, 43-0 Heritage Hall, as John Marshall looking for their first points of the game as they are in Charger territory at their 38. Caldwell with the snap. He looks to his left, fires it to Middleton. Middleton going to do a quick little spin, get tackled at the 30-yard line of the Chargers, and they're moving the ball here with about less than 5 minutes left in this one.
And Heritage Hall is still coming, but great job by the backfield getting that block, giving a quarterback time to get that pass off. We're still getting some positive yardage. Smell that end zone, man.
2nd and 2 from about the Chargers' 30-yard line. 4.5 minutes and ticking as Caldwell, the quarterback for John Marshall, awaiting the snap in the shotgun. Guilford to his left, 2 H-backs to the left. Number 4 and 3. Oh, the snap's over his head.
Yet another hot snap, yet another recovery by the Heritage Hall Chargers. That's number 9.
Number 9 is going to be Jackson Carter. Big game for Jackson Carter tonight. And yet again, another turnover by John Marshall that proves to be costly.
I mean, you just hate it for John Marshall because they're not really forcing these. They just can't get the play off.
They can't get the snap.
You got to get the snap. That's the first part of the play, man. We've got some direct snaps that have been in our favor. But overall, we got to tighten that up by the John Marshall offensive line.
And we'll see here what Heritage Hall's strategy is. I'm sure they're just going to run on this one and let the clock bleed out. Walker Nelson in the pistol. Trish receivers to the left. Single receiver to the right. Walker Nelson moving his back closer. Walker Nelson looks like he wants the snap. He's going to get the snap. He's going to fire that one off to his left. Very, very risky pass as he's hit, as he's thrown. Looks like he was looking for number 34 of Heritage Hall. Hillman Brown, the sophomore tight end.
I mean, great job again by number 1, Dorian Middleton. I mean, he's applying for his residence in the backfield, and I think he's going to get approved.
Oh, no doubt. As we see Walker Nelson in the pistol. Running back to his left, running back also behind him. It's going to be a handoff out of the pistol to the running back from Walker Nelson to number 82.
Great job, number 28, Aiden Clayton, freshman for the John Marshall Bears. We got some substitutions, getting some young guys in to get some reps.
3 minutes and 50 seconds left in this game tonight. Heritage Hall up 43-0. 3rd and 9 here for Heritage Hall at their own 46-yard line. Looks like Walker Nelson in the pistol has a back to his right and a back directly behind him. And they're going to hand it off again to number 82, and he might have gotten back to, he might have lost a yard.
Might have lost one. Got a John Marshall Bear swarming over him, Nejion Blackburn, who's definitely left his stamp on the game.
I would say so myself. We said his name a lot tonight as we see number 1, Dorian Middleton, back to receive the punt with about 3 minutes left in this one as Heritage Hall looks at their coach. I'm wondering if they're just going to let the clock bleed here, if they're going to maybe call a timeout, let it bleed out. We're just waiting to see what they decide to do here. Maybe they take the penalty. Less than 3 minutes left in this ball game officially now.
Not a terrible strategy. I mean, I wouldn't want to kick it to an athlete like Dorian Middleton.
I mean, I want to keep the shutout, right?
Exactly. You don't want to spoil that in the last 2 minutes. Not at all. Great job. Great call by Brett Bogert.
2:46 left in this one tonight. 43-0, Heritage Hall up over the John Marshall Bears, man. And, I mean, we can recap a little bit of what we've seen tonight. Just honestly, strong performance from start to finish for Heritage Hall, wouldn't you say?
I mean, good complimentary football by Heritage Hall. I mean, besides taking advantage of the penalties from John Marshall, I mean, they've added to it. They've made big plays on offense. The quarterback, Andy Bass, has had a great game individually. He's done a great job spreading the wealth between his playmakers, and the defense has came hungry. They almost live in the backfield from John Marshall. It's 3 or 4 gold jerseys by the time 2 seconds are in the play.
You think they're the landlord. As Bass back to punt, maybe he asked the coach, hey, man, I need to punt this one. As not a great one, but they'll take it, being up 43-0 with 2:23 left to be exact. And we'll see that John Marshall offense. Hey, let's get some points.
Let's get some points, man. We got everybody, almost every guy that's been starting and playing the whole duration of this game. I want to see it gel. They've made some adjustments during the game. So still some positives for the John Marshall Bears, but we want to see them get in the end zone ultimately.
As we see, Chris Burris, this is a guy that he knows what it takes to build a program. To build a program. Was there 4 years for Ada, went to a state title game against these Heritage Hall Chargers. So this is a person that knows what success looks like. And, it's going to take more than a day to build Rome, so to speak.
And another loss for Coach Beers. I mean, that's just going to be stamped inside of his mind. That's going to be some extra motivation for him.
As we see Guilford get this carry, and he's smacked. But he's going to get up very quick. Usually the biggest hits are the ones that don't hurt as much. It's usually the little hits that hurt more.
Hey, but more importantly, the lowest man wins on that tackle.
Oh, no doubt. As that was a Big O's Pork and Dreams first down. 2 minutes and ticking left for John Marshall to not get shut out tonight in their 3rd game of action this season. As we see number 6, Terrence Caldwell with Guilford to his right. The twins to the right. He's going to fire it to number 1, Middleton. And that was a pass, a little bit of an errant throw, too far in front of number 1, Middleton.
Yeah, not sure what he was expecting, but he was trying to get that ball out quick.
Minute 45 left in this one tonight, folks. If you've been sticking with us through this one, you're a trooper, and we appreciate you.
You are a trooper, and me and DB truly appreciate you
and everyone
for sticking with us.
Everyone here at 105.3 CBS Sports Radio and Perry Broadcasting, we appreciate you. As we see John Marshall get the snap. Oh, it's going to go over his head. He drops it, and he's going to pick it back up. Number 6, Caldwell. He makes something out of nothing. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage, I believe.
I mean, after he recovered it, it was almost an open field. So it's like, hey, take off and get what you can get.
Hey, it looks like they're going to say he lost a yard on that, but the fact that that could have been a 10-yard loss, he made that a 1-yard loss, shows you the kind of player and athlete he is, as it's going to set up a 3rd and 11 with a minute and 17 left in this one in the 4th quarter. John Marshall in Charger territory.
Absolutely. Great by Terrence Caldwell. Great progression throughout this game. He's had some great opportunities to air it out. He's hit on most of them. A couple of them just a little off.
As we see shotgun here for John Marshall, number 6, Terrence Caldwell.
And
ball goes over his head. Terrence Caldwell is going to have to run back for that one and fall on it. It's going to fall, and it's going to get downed at the John Marshall 36-yard line maybe. 40 seconds left in this one. We'll see if John Marshall decides to run another play or if they just decide to let it run. Looks like they might have to run another play, actually, with 25 seconds left on the game clock, or play clock, excuse me. They're going to have to run one more play. Nope, they're not going to have to. Looks like they reset the clock. 15 seconds left. This one is about over. 43-0. John Marshall is losing. 10 seconds left.
Another slobber knocker, DB.
5 seconds left.
Great fight from the Bears.
Will they get a playoff? No, they will not. So this one's going to end Heritage Hall 43, John Marshall 0. Dominant showing from start to finish. We'll get into our post-game show. We would like to thank SSM Health St. Anthony's. Let the orthopedic experts at SSM Health Bone and Knee Joint Hospital help people get moving again. Call for an appointment today at 405-218-2530. That's 218-2530.
Yeah, DB, we want to give a shout out to Metro Technology Centers. Metro Technology Centers offers great courses and programs to allow you to have a great career. Learn more at metrotech.edu. That's metrotech.edu.
And again, Chuck Davis, State Farm. Let State Farm's Chuck Davis take care of you. Give him a call today at 405-378-8008. That's 378-8008. And what a game we had tonight. Our player of the game, Big O's Pork and Dreams and Super Prep player of the game, our proud sponsors of player of the game. We're going to have to give it to number 7, Andy Bass, wouldn't you say?
I mean, I wouldn't give it to anybody else. I mean, he was just explosive. Those 2 rushing touchdowns in the second half just put the icing on the cake for him.
And that's going to be it for us. I'm Devin Bajek.
I'm Jamin Dawson.
Thank you for checking out another Perry Broadcasting stream. CBS Sports 105.3, Heritage Hall 43, John Marshall 0.
Peace.
Yeah, run it, ooh, I really